The NASCAR Winston Cup Series returns after another off week, but we're back in action at the Watkins Glen International Raceway in Watkins Glen, New York. This is the Global Crossing at the Glen, the second and final road course race for the Winston Cup Series season in this 2000. And we're looking forward to going left and right turn racing one final time this season, and we'll see who can conquer it, just like Brett Searer did out in Riverside, California, who can conquer it out here in Watkins Glen, New York, around this 11-turn, 2.45-mile racetrack. This is going to be a fun race for sure here on JRTV. Just 10 races remain in the fight for the championship. Keegan Thompson with a really good day at Pocono. Trey Bardo struggling in that Pocono race. Thompson's point advantage now over 100 points on Trey Bardo, as there is a about four-way battle for third in points between Jericho, Sierra, Zidell, and Evans. They're all looking for that third place spot in points. If the front two start colliding with each other and have some bad days, maybe those four can try and close in, but they have a good ways to go. They're over a race back of the front two in the championship, so we'll see what those four can do in the battle for third in points, and we'll see if Mathis Wells can try and close in as well in the 20. He starts well once again for the second straight race here on JRTV's presentation of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. It is a decent day for racing here in Watkins Glen, New York. Highs in the mid-70s, but it is cloudy here today in Watkins Glen, and there is a decent bit of wind northwest at 4 miles an hour, but shouldn't be too much of an effect. The bigger effect is going to be the clouds. There's going to be a lot more grip on this racetrack. We'll see what the drivers can do with that here today at Watkins Glen. On pole, it's Trey Bardo in the 3. Starts second last race at Pocono, but faded back to mid-pack, past mid-pack, and never really started the top 5 again. He got up inside the top 10 at the end, finished there. However, he lost many points to Keegan Thompson. Now Bardo starts on pole looking to get it done. Mathis Wells now starts second. They flip-flopped how they started at Pocono. We'll see which one of them can get the jump on this initial start and get out to the lead. Keegan Thompson, the points there, starts back in the 7th position, and that all came because of Bibby Ruiz failing post-qualifying inspection in the 9 car. Ruiz started to start in 5th place, was fastest in practice, but failed post-qualifying inspection twice. Had to go through 3 times to get through. He finally did. However, now the 9 car will start back in the 42nd position after being the fastest in practice and qualifying into the top 5. Really tough break there for Bibby Ruiz and Melling Racing's number 9. Also, some names to watch out for. Riley Spurgeon starting in Thursday, had a great season. We'll see what he can do on this initial start. Zachary DeLello will start in 9th. What can he do? And what can drivers like Zidell, Jericho, Sierra do along with Cameron Evans? They all start inside the top 8 here today at Watkins Glen. Kukulon starts back in 10th. Watch for him. Watch for Nathan Barrett starting inside the top 15. Jordan Stout there, the 2 Penske cars. Jordan Edwards, Anthony Hernandez starting well. Anderson Reed, Ryan Wilson, Noah Clifton all starting in the top half of the field. We'll see what they can do here at the Global Crossing at the Glen here at Watkins Glen. It's a long pace lap, so we'll get the command to fire the engines up and go over a few more of the track facts once we get going. Let's go down the track side to fire up these engines at Watkins Glen.
Drivers, start your engines.
There you can see the 42 cars are moving here at Watkins Glen to do battle in the Global Crossing at the Glen. Going to be a fun race for sure here at the Watkins Glen International in New York. Always a fun race, as we'll see from the past history at Watkins Glen. The track is 2.45 miles in length around this road course. 11 turns, however, depending on who you ask, they could say 10, they could say 9, they could say 8, they could say 7. But in terms of what NASCAR says, we'll go with 11 turns around this road course. A lot up through the S's, obviously, the bus stop there, and then obviously the carousel along with the final 2 corners of 10 and 11. And obviously the first race held here not that long ago here at Watkins Glen. The past 5 winners, this is where it gets interesting. We've had 5 different winners in the last 5 races, and also 5 different teams have won in the last 5 races, and 4 of which have been pretty kind of under the radar mid-pack teams. We'll talk about that. Adam Lewis won it back in 1995, Griffin Lynn in 1996, in 1997 went to Eric Willis, in 1998 Paul Minnick, and in 1999 the last race here went to Cole Lewis. Those 5 teams: Bill Davis Racing, Team Sabco, Petty Enterprises, Richard Childress Racing, and then Andy Peacher Racing. 4 of those 5 teams currently have not had much success this season. Richard Childress Racing, only one of them that's had success. Will we see something like that again here this season, where a mid-pack team comes and wins it, like Riley Spurgeon, who starts in 3rd for Robert Yates? How about Roush Racing? How about some of the other teams that have not performed well? Petty Enterprises has another car up inside the top 10, so we'll see what happens there with that. It's an 18-lap race here at Watkins Glen. The field window anywhere from 9 to 11 laps. That's what's going to be the most interesting part of this race. It may be hard to pass, however, you do most of your passing because of pit strategy. Who comes in early, hoping for a yellow to try and get that pit stop out of the way? Who comes in late? We're going to see throughout this race which strategy will be the best to play out. Will we get any yellows to change that strategy, or will it go caution-free just like we saw out in Riverside? Speaking of Riverside, it was the 2 drivers starting on the 3rd row that had the battle for the win there between Brett Seaver, who starts in 5th, and Chris Jericho, who starts in 6th. What can those two do as they start on the 3rd row here? Brett Seaver has multiple wins this season, 4-time winner. Jericho only 1 win. They're bound for 3rd in points. What can those two do starting from 5th and 6th on the racetrack? Also, watch out for the man starting back in 42nd, Bibi Ruiz. It might not be a great day because he's now starting at the back, but Ruiz had a really fast car in practice, showed that qualifying pace as well. However, issues in tech have put him back in 42nd. Now he's looking to try and come through the field and maybe get a decent result. It's not going to be like it was after qualifying, but maybe he can try and get top 30, top 25 to show that car still had the pace even after passing inspection. But it's all going to be the start of the race. All eyes are going to be on Trey Bardo and Matheus, who start on the front row for this Watkins Glen race. They shared the front row in Pocono. We'll see which of them gets the jump on this initial start to try and get out into the lead. It's Bardo, it's Wells, it's Spurley Tube, it's Zidell, it's Sierra the front 5. Jericho, Thompson, Evans, DeLello, and Kukulan are the top 10. We'll see how it all plays out in 18 laps here at Watkins Glen. Who plays the strategy right and who gets through unscathed is the question. It's a crazy racetrack. We've seen it with the multiple winners we've had here in the past. This one going to be just as good. Pace car to the right hand of the turn, and here we go. On to the main straightaway. Bardo in control, 2nd in points, 103 back of Keegan Thompson, looking to close and hits the gas. We're green flag racing in the global crossing at the Glen. Thompson wasting no time trying to outbrake Sierra and Jericho into turn 1. He did, and he'll get 2 spots right there up into the top 5 already for Thompson as Bardo and Wells clear 1st and 2nd. They race now up the S's. Very treacherous part of the racetrack, very narrow. It's like a canyon going through there. Everyone trying to make it through cleanly. The front 5 do. The battle for 6th. DeLello inside of Brett Sierra. The battle for 6th. Up the back straight. We have a battle for 3rd also. Zidell going down. Spurred him into the bus stop. Not really a passing zone, but they're going to try and make it work here. Very hard to make passes work there. Zidell trying to get it done still. Spurgeon still hanging tough on the outside through the carousel. Spurgeon might get the run off right here. We'll have to see. Got a great launch there. Spurgeon keeps 3rd. Now Zidell under fire for 4th, and Keegan Thompson's the preferred into lane to turn 10. Thompson looking for 4th on Zidell, his teammate. The battle for 6th still goes on behind. As Thompson gets to 4th, Zidell back to 5th. Here's the battle for 6th. DeLello on the inside. On the outside, Brett Sierra. Nice rotation for DeLello. He'll get to 6th. That's Trey Bardo, 5 bonus points. He leads the 1st lap at Watkins Glen. Sierra fall back in line in 7th. Stout is 8th. Evans is 9th. Jericho's 10th. How about Nathan Bardo to 11th? Jordan Edwards, just his, 3rd start of the season, up inside the top 12 here in the 97. Jacob Boyd, the top 15, and about for 15th here. It's Kukulan Luke Brady going at it. Luke will get that spot as Kukulan washed up through the middle of the S's and go a little bit further back. Brandon Beal in his return to the NASCAR Winston Cup Series racetrack took 6 weeks off, 4 races off because of a heavy crash injury he had after his Michigan incident. But Beal back and maybe better than ever, qualified inside the top 30, and for his first race back at a road course like this where you're doing all that shifting and whatnot. Very gutsy performance for Brandon Beal, and currently showing a pretty good start to this race. He just passed that number 44 Ryan Wilson. He's up inside the top 25 for Brandon Beal, started just outside the top 25 and 27, so not too bad so far for Brandon Beal. That 94 is home track and trying to race like that for sure. Chris Jericho is washed up and he's falling back in the 18. He has an issue. He's coming to pit road, it looks like. Chris Jericho to pit road, a major issue on the 18 car. That is a shame for Jericho, who started well in this race, and once again, another issue maybe out of his control. could take him out of the running. Jericho now back of the field. And we'll see if they can resolve the issue in the 18. 5 cars breakaway. It's Bardo leading, Wells in second, Spurgeon in third. Thompson fourth, Zidell fifth. About for sixth is DeLello, Sierra, Stout, and Evans back to ninth. Then 10th place is now Nathan Baird for Joe Bessie Racing. In that number 16, the two Penske cars 11th and 12th. 13th now Jordan Edwards, Jacob Boyd 14th, and Harrison Reed for Team Savco up inside the top 15. Yeah, Kugelon lost some ground there because I think he got stuck behind Jericho there as the 18 was trying to come down pit road. Anthony is having a good run so far in the one car. As there's Brandon Beal, he's currently just outside the top 20 right there in the 94. Just behind Caden Lynn. And where's Colin Teague gone? He's now back behind them, so moved Brandon Beal up to 21st now as Teague fell from 20th all the way outside the top 20. As the field now starts to get strung out, for a course like this, that's not necessarily uncommon to see. See the bout for second tightening up though. Matheus Wills might be holding up Riley Spurgeon a little bit in the 20. Wants to find a way around the 20 in a hurry right here. Off to turn one they'll race. And turn one a very, very good place to try and outbreak the guy in front of you. As Thompson has a run on to Spurgeon but can't do it. Zidell washed up from 5th and now he's losing ground to the front 4. And DeLello gaining ground on the front 5 right there. That 43 looks decently strong. He's actually holding Brett Sear at bay. In fact, maybe even pulling away from him. I know DeLello having a good showing in that 43 car. Trying to get away from Brett Sear behind to try and focus on Sear's teammate Zidell just in front. Spurtube, that was going to look for an outbreak there at Matheus Wells, but couldn't. Now Spurtube and Wells go through the bus stop, and Thompson closes in on the number 28 for third. Keegan Thompson sees Trey Bardo up there leading. Obviously, Bardo could still lose this race because pit stops, cautions, whatever it may be, car could fall off in the long run. But Thompson needs to get every spot he can under the green flag in case something happens under caution where he maybe loses spots. So, you know, Keegan Thompson right now definitely on full attack mode because the pit stops, because maybe a possible yellow could come out, something along the lines of that. The race down and back around to the start finish line. Trey Bardo still with the race lead, but the gap got cut down by about 2/10 that time. Bardo really lost ground to Matheus Wells that last lap. Spurgeon had a nice entrance into turn 1, drove it in deep. Got to the back of the 20, but couldn't do much more with this. Jericho did get back onto the racetrack and stayed on the lead lap, but the 18 right now back about a minute off of the leaders. And gonna definitely be hoping for a yellow at some point. And Jericho's bad luck at the midpoint of the season just continues for the driver of the 18. Jericho's teammate Matheus Wells having a good day right now in second, right where he started, and trying to chase down that number 3 of Trey Bardo. And he has his mirrors full of Riley Spurgeon and Keegan Thompson. Zidell kind of just looking on in 5th, maybe trying to save some stuff here with DeLello in 6th and Sear in 7th. And I think the biggest thing is going to be when that pit window opens, who's the first to dive in and say, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to pit now to try and undercut these drivers. Maybe not even undercut, just try and hope a yellow comes out while I'm on pit road and the others aren't. I can really leapfrog people that way. So that's what I'd be looking for if I'm a crew chief or someone up on that pit box. When is the earliest I can pit and make it on fuel? Because I'm going to pit then and try and make it the distance from there and try and make sure it works out. Oh, Thompson washes up from that 4th spot. Zidell is a shot for 4th. That's 4th and 5th. Teammates going at it from Hendrick Motorsports, but Thompson able to keep that spot off of teammate Zidell for now. DeLello, Sierra, along with Stout and Evans closing in. Nathan Baird currently in 10th and has a few fast forwards behind him with Mitchell Collins, Luke Brainy, Jordan Edwards, and Jacob Boyd. That's a lot of forwards held up behind that number 60 Chevrolet, but I'm sure Baird will take it because he's up in the thick of it right now. Some drivers have had some really good starts. Mitch Corbett up inside the top 20. Anthony has had a decent start. Jordan Edwards moved up some spots. Caden Lynn moved up nicely in the 42, along with Brandon Beal mentioned up to 21st. And obviously DeLello up inside the top 10 to 6th, so drivers that really did move up nicely. Brewers right now in the 30th position. River started back in 42nd, so it's a net gain of just a few positions for the driver of the 9. Back up towards the front as it kind of is just the same. Bardo lost that ground a few laps ago, but is starting to gain just a little bit back as Jericho's back on pit road. So obviously whatever it is on the 18, there is a major issue. They did not fix it the first time, and I don't know if he's going pit road speed. I think he might be. It's just 35 miles an hour here. It's obviously a lot slower than what we're used to seeing. But Jericho, whatever the issue is on that 18, they have not been able to resolve it. He's back in the pit road for the second time this race and is now 1 lap down. So Jericho's race has just gone from bad to even worse. That is disappointing for sure. Come to race and didn't really get to race. Is that are they going to be able to resolve the issue this time? He's down and away again, so we'll have to see if they resolve it that time. But whatever, maybe on the 18 could be a loose wheel, could be something along the lines of that. Maybe he ran over something the first time and then a loose wheel the second time. I really don't know what it is, but obviously there are some major issues. I really do think the 28 is faster than the 20 at this stage of the race. And I think Mathis Wells is doing a really good job holding Brian Spurgeon behind him. But it's also allowing the 3 Bardo to get away. And I think Spurgeon getting a little bit impatient. You saw him right there kind of spin the rear out, coming off that final corner. Knowing he's faster, trying to make the pass work, but couldn't. Now Keegan Thompson pulls right up to the back of the 28 into turn 1. Trying to pressure Spurgeon into a little bit of a mistake right there, but couldn't do it there. Front 5 stay together. DeLello still holding Sierra off that 6th and 7th. They got a little bit of a gap over Stout and Evans. And Baird still holding up the 4 fast forwards behind him. Collins, Rainey, Edwards, and Boyd. The pit stops are looming ahead. We're coming around to 10 to go this time by. We're nearing the midpoint. Remember, the fuel window 9 to 11 laps. So within the next lap or two, we could see drivers come down pit road and start that cycle. And we'll see if any yellows come out and try and change the whole complexity, the whole running order of this race. It will be interesting to see for sure who wants to come in as soon as possible to try and get that yellow, to try and get the fresh tires sooner. It's going to be all down to that. And maybe if you're someone further back in the pack, say you're DeLello, what do you have to lose? You're right now in 6th. Sure, you could lose 6th place. It's a good day. But do whatever the Lears don't, because if you do what the Lears do, you might just finish 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. I'm sure DeLello would definitely take that top 10, but you can also come here to do really well and win this thing, because we've seen how good track position is. If you have that track position, they might not be able to pass you if you get those spots. The Sierra messes up turn 1 from 7th, and it's under fire from 8th place, Jordan Stout. That allows DeLello a little bit of breathing room to now focus forward, as the gap from Bardo to Wells about 10th and a half off of a second. So at this point, the 3 car stretching his legs and trying to get away from that number 20. There's Wells' teammate Jericho, who stayed on the racetrack, so obviously they fixed the issue, they think, maybe this time, but will it stay fixed is the big question. Look through the pack where everyone's running. There's Brandon Beal. Remember, first race back and currently just outside the top 20, so if he can play the pit stop stretch well, he could possibly break his way up into the top 20. That'd be a really good day for that Bill Elliott Racing Ford, his first race back. As we'll have to see. We're coming around to complete 9 laps this time by. This could be, right at midway. Who wants to come in and pit? I don't think Bardo will come in and pit sooner, because he wants the most laps led bonus points. He doesn't want anyone else to try and get that. So right here, he's gonna lead. He's gonna at least tie for the most laps led, but no one. Oh, Luke Gray's gonna make a late move to pit road. Anthony Ness as well. So here we go. It's starting. The 2 and the 1. The 42 as well. 22, 33, 99. They're coming in sooner. Evan Hunter. They're trying to leapfrog on this strategy. So it's a handful of cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars came down of the 42 on the racetrack. And obviously for Bardo, that was the right call to stay out, right? So now he's led 9 of the 18 laps. He is for sure going to get those 5 bonus points, and he's really hoping that Keegan Thompson doesn't try. Here we go. So they'll look for a pass on his teammate Thompson, but couldn't do it. But Bardo's really hoping that if he pits this time and if everyone behind him pits, that Thompson does not stay out and try and get 5 bonus points for leading a lap right here. These guys that came in down away, Luke Rainey, Anthony is first off. That's basically how they came into pit road. That's how they'll leave. Who comes in this time? Who stays out this time is the big question. Bardo's on every lap so far from pole position. Has an over second gap over the cars behind, but looks like we're going to have some more come in. Sierra maybe coming in. Trey Bardo stays out another lap. All the front 5 are. Sierra goes wide. Stout and Evans come in. They'll try and undercut. Edwards and Boyd will come in. The 17 of Kukulon, the 66 of Corbett, and a lot of the second half. Here we go. Burnett and Beal trying to get a good entry. Ryan Wilson, Colin Teague, Lord Chung, and Noah Clifton. 26 of Nolan Lawrence. Jack Haas, Eli Bright, Roger Ray, Hagita, Ruiz, and Williams. Davison, Stanworth Jr. Most of the field is in. The cars stay out. Trey Bardo, Mathis Wells, Spurley Tube, and Thompson. Zidell and DeLello. Sierra, Baird, Collins, Reed, Yepez, Iger, Mills. They are the only ones to stay out on the racetrack. Everyone else has been in for service, 4 tires, and 76 racing fuel. 14 cars have stayed out on the racetrack. We expect all of the rest to come in here on lap number 11. So I have to see. I mean, I'm shocked that the 20, the 28, the 5, the 24 did not try and pit sooner than the 3 car. It looks like they're coming with them. I'm shocked they did not try and undercut them and try and get the tires sooner. Here they are in. Looks like all the leaders will come in on this lap. Completion of 11, start of 12. First car off is going to be the 88 of Jordan Stout. He and Evans were obviously already up inside the top 10 when the cycle started. They were back after the top 10 though. So Stout, Evans, then Luke Rainey, then Edwards, then Jacob Boyd, along with Anthony and Kukulon, the others. That's where they're coming out so far. Where do the leaders come out is the big question. Where's Bardo and them going to come out? Bardo has now sealed up the most upside bonus points for only himself. So the only other bonus points people can get this race is for leading a lap. But Bardo's trying to do all the leading today at Watkins Glen at every single second of this race. But the pit crew has to get it done on pit road. Looks like so far a clean stop for the number 3 of Trey Bardo. And he's down and away. A quick pit stop there. 20 will leave. Spurred to a slower stop. DeLello, a really good stop. He's going to leave the 24. He has issues again. Seidel does. How many times this season has the 24 crew not done their job on pit road? Everyone trying to leave. Nathan Baird's going to lose spots right here. You can see it. Sierra did as well. The undercut really worked for some drivers. Seidel and Collins drag racing off pit road. Seidel's to give the spot up. Look at this. Look how this has cycled out now. Jordan Stout's up to 3rd in the 88. Luke Rainey going for 4th on Keegan Thompson entering the bus stop. Conrad Evans might try and filter through as well. The 5 only going to give the spot to the 2 for now. So really good call for the undercut between the 88, the 2, and the 31. That undercut puts Stout from, I think he was, what, 8th or so? He's now up to 3rd. Luke Rainey up to 4th. Evans up to 6th. DeLello's now 7th. Edwards is in about for 7th now with DeLello. There he goes, about for 2nd. Stout trying to get by Wells and maybe trying to run that 3 car down. Stout to 2nd. Wells now 3rd. Luke Rainey 4th. Thompson 5th. 6th place is Evans. Edwards up to 7th. DeLello now 8th. Anthony Nannis to the top 10 and 9th. And Riley Spurgeon all the way back to 10th. Sierra now in 11th. Jacob Boyd is 12th. Kukulon 13th. Baird is now 14th. 15th for Harrison Reed. Caden Lynn is his teammate now 15th and 16th. 17th for Rich Corbett. Collins back to 18th. Rando 19th and 20th place. Back to Seidel now. He was 5th. Now he's going to be 21st because Strickland looks to get by him. Oh, man, that is another bad pit stop for the 24 crew. Back to 21st. Wow. Not good. So Bardo has a 2.5 second gap over Jordan Stout, who's now moved to 2nd. Can Stout try and close in? Wells now 3rd, under fire from Luke Rainey, who had a dismal race at Pocono, but what better way to rebound with the top 5 at a very hard road course here at Watkins Glen. Luke Rainey looking to do that in the 2 car. Conrad Evans, Keegan Thompson now. Evans to 5th, Thompson back to 6th. The 5 car not firing off well on this short run so far. DeLello not firing off well at all. He's back now in 8th and in a fight with Anthony Hernandez. That's 8th and 9th, and 4th might lose a spot to the 1 as Hernandez had a really good pit stop strategy there as Stout did close in by about a 10th. But maybe it was because, you know, the 3, the 20, and then they were on colder tires. Now that they've maybe got some temperature in the tires, are they going to start going faster, or is the 88 just faster overall? Will he be able to pull away? And Stout's really wishing that he was a little bit closer to the 3 car because he began some draft. Like Wells is getting drafted off the 88 right now. He's starting to fade off the back of the 20. 20 starting to gain on the back of the 88. Racing around to 4 to go this time by at Watkins Glen. Bardo's led every single lap of this race. Every single second the 3 car's been out in front. He's not seen anything but clean air in this race. Well, now Bardo's to hang on. Coming around to 4 laps to go. And he'll win his 2nd of the season here at Watkins Glen. His first came back in Las Vegas. That was so long ago. Not only this, but it'd be big for the championship. He'd be gaining points back on Keegan Thompson. Keegan's back in 6th right now, and about for 5th with Evans. But if they start battling too hard, Jordan Edwards can try and close in and get by them both, maybe. DeLello's been able to get away a little bit from the 1 of Hernandez. Hernandez now fades back to Spro to Boyd, Sierra, and Kukulon. There's Nathan Baird, currently in the 14th spot. Still a good day for Nathan Baird. If it wasn't inside the top 10 before pit cycle start, that's why I said that that undercut would be a really, really good call that no one really took it, especially the race leaders. If Stout gained this much time, pitting just a lap or two sooner, imagine what Wells or Spurlitube could have gained, Thompson or Zidell, if they pitted just a lap sooner than Trey Bardo. I'm a little bit frustrated with that. Those drivers behind did try a different strategy than follow the 3 car in. Following someone in, following the leader in, you basically just admit defeat at that point. You have to hope the 3 makes a mistake on pit road at that point. Well, DeLello's really pulling away now from the number 1 of Hernandez, who's now under fire from Spurlitube. There we go, battle 9th and 10th. Spurlitube looking at some spots back. He was 3rd at the pit cycle start. He's now back in 10th, and I think he's going to move his way up to 9th right here. But Hernandez has now the inside in turn 11. He fires off the inside. Great corner exit for the 1. Just backed it up to get back on the gas so much sooner. And now Spurlitube and Hernandez side by side to turn 1. Who breaks late? Who gets through? Jacob Boyd can try and get some spots in the 21 here if these 2 tangle. Looks like Spurlitube be able to get it. Does he clear the 1? Not quite. Battle for 9th and 10th still going on. Spurlitube able to get it. Now Hernandez in a fight for 10th with Jacob Boyd. And Sierra as well right there. Kukulon as well. Look at this massive fight. Edwards is close up on the back of the 5 and the 31. Meanwhile, Hernandez gets pushed clear in 10th. Battle for 11th is Sierra on the inside and Boyd on the outside. Sierra gets 11th. He just pushed the 1 clear, got himself clear with it. Now Boyd under fire from a fellow Ford of Sebastian Kukulon at 12th place. Boyd able to keep it for now. Go back up further because this is a... Oh, here we go. Battle for 2nd. Wells and Stout. Stout trying to get the exit and does. He pulls away from the 20. 2 laps to go at Watkins Glen. Trey Bardo is over 3 seconds. He's dominated today. Looking to get it done again. Stout and Wells battle for 2nd still. Door to door. Wells able to get 2nd again, right where he started. He's run there most of this race. He'll maybe finish there if he can get around to the white flag and the checkered flag. Meanwhile, now there's going to be a battle for 3rd between Jordan Stout and Luke Rainey. And Luke has a better car, I think, than the 88. And Keegan Thompson back there on Conrad Evans has closed in. Thompson doesn't make the pass. Edwards just looking. DeLello also looking. Spurlitube is 9th, about for 10th. Sierra got by Hernandez. Maybe messed up the bus stop. Hernandez looking on the outside of the carousel, but Sierra gets to 10th. Brett Sierra back up into the top 10. Hernandez and Jacob Boyd battle for 11th and 12th now. Coming to the white flag for Trey Bardo in car number 3. A dominant day. We'll see the white flag one more time around. 2.45 miles to go for the number 3. A distant 2nd place for Mathis Wells. 3.5 seconds back. 4 seconds back for Jordan Stout. Luke Rainey is 4th. 5th is Evans. But he has Keegan Thompson, the championship leader, right behind him. And Thompson has Jordan Edwards right behind. And DeLello not that far back in the 43. Up through the S's. This battle for 5th is the closest battle on the racetrack and the highest battle on the racetrack. As well as has gapped the 88 and the 2 for 2nd place. Bardo into the bus stop for the final time. Eli Bright, the nearest car to him. Eli Bright currently back in the 41st position. Brandon Beal also fell. He's back in 40th. Through the carousel cleanly for Trey Bardo. There's Wells. There's Stout. There's Rainey. There's Evans. Thompson. Edwards. DeLello. Spurlitube and Sierra. That's the front 10. But they're all behind this man, Trey Bardo. He claimed pole position yesterday here at Watkins Glen qualifying. He's going to do it in the global crossing at the Glen. His final start at Watkins Glen. Trey Bardo gets it done. His 2nd win of the season, maybe his final win of his career. Wells in 2nd, Stout and Luke Rainey 3rd and 4th. Evans able to keep 5th. Keegan Thompson gets 6th to try to minimize the points lost to number 3 of Bardo. But it's all Trey Bardo today in the number 3 car. What a result. What a race. What a dominant race for Trey Bardo. Never lost the lead at any point during this race. And that number 3 was on it today. He definitely brought one fast hot rod. And this is Bardo's final win in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. I'm sure he definitely loved for it to be because it was the most dominant win you could get. And Bardo will close in on Keegan Thompson just slightly in the points. It's a 5-position gain for Bardo right there over Keegan Thompson. Now that that's over, let's go check the finish results from Watkins Glen. Trey Bardo on top, obviously, in car number 3. It was dominant today for Trey Bardo. He gets victory. Second place to Mathis Wells in the 23.5 seconds back at the checkered flag. Jordan Stout ends up in 3rd. Luke Brady ends up in 4th. And Conrad Evans, the top 5 in that number 31. Keegan Thompson, a decent day in 6th place, but obviously Bardo winning and get max points, not what Thompson really wanted to see. Jordan Edwards, a really good day in 7th. Zachary DeLello used the track position to get himself a top 10 in 8th. Riley Spiritu 9th place, and Brett Seaver completes the top 10 in the 25. Jacob Boyd ends up getting 11th at the end. 12th place to Sebastian Kukulon. Nathan Barrick back up to 13th. Anderson Reed 14th. Mitchell Collins back up to 15th. Anthony has a really bad last lap. Ends up in 16th. He was, remember, 10th man with Jacob Boyd there at the end of it. Caden Linden 17th. Zidell back down to 18th. Corbett 19th. And Jay Reno completes the top 20. Yapez, Richardson, Strickland, Lord, Chung, Jack Costa top 25. There's Baby Ruiz after failing inspection twice, 27th, so not a terrible recovery from 42nd on the grid. He beat Burnett, Walker Davis from 41st, slowest in qualifying. Evan Hunter, really good day in the 36. You can see some other drivers. Colin Teague down here, not a good day. Nolan Lawrence. Noah Clifton had a decent start to the race, but not a good finish. Roger Ray, 39th. Brandon Beal, 40th place, whatever that second run was. It did not help the 94. Eli Bright finished well off the pace, and Chris Jericho lapped down. Issues on the 18 that they could never resolve. Had to pit twice under this race, and definitely hurt on the 18 car. 42nd today at Watkins Glen. That was an interesting one for sure here in Watkins Glen, New York. The global crossing at the Glen goes to number 3 of Trey Bardo in dominating fashion. His second win of the season, and is he possibly coming alive at the right point? We're into the final 10 races now. This is where a veteran like Bardo would know what it's like under championship pressure, while Keegan Thompson doesn't know anything like that. Is Bardo maybe experienced enough to where these final 10 races will be his best of the season, while Thompson may start to struggle in this championship fight? We're going to find out as the 9th to last race of the season. Next race out, we go to Rockingham for the Pop Secret Microwave 400. Thompson won there earlier in the season. He's looking to do it again. This time, it would be to extend the points lead once again over Trey Bardo. Thanks for watching JRTV's presentation of the Global Crossing at the Glen here from Watkins Glen. Tune in next week for Rockingham. We'll see you guys then.